posts. Guess I should share them with my fame. Ding, ding. Share button. Copy text. Paste. Oops. Let's assume that worked. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, that's the thing. This is filthy. Ripley, where did my pencil go? Ripley! Ripley! Where's my pencil? What we got all set up this time? Microphone. Check. Right. Microphone. Looks a little bit hot, Ripley. You're not gonna turn that down a notch? Just one little notch? You know I speak loudly. Ripples. There. One notch. Still ripples. Check. One. Alright, that looks more acceptable. Beep boop, bop bop. Pretzel music. Doo doo. Alright, Ripley. I know I'm forgetting something else. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is, sweet angel. Where'd the music go, Ripley? Where'd the Ray music go? Alright, now everything should work. Right? I don't think I moved anything. Definitely moved some stuff. Here we go. Pretzel rocks. Pretzel rocks. Play music. Alright, I don't know what else I'm forgetting, but I'm sure it will come to me when I notice it not working. Ripley. So, step one, pause the music. Alright, it worked. Step two, oh yeah, do the intro. Okay. Test of the new computer and the old system. Do the buttons still work? Yeah, it looks like it works. Press the other button. Thank you.
Five stars. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
And tell your hot mom.
Hot mom.
There's no such thing as grownups.com.
Oh yeah, I gotta record a new podcast soon. Keep forgetting about that. Alright, thanks Ripples. Thank you. And hello. And here we go, once again, for another No Such Thing as Grownups live drawing fun time McGee review. So, right before the stream, let's just call it the YouTube show. Space Goonie, flying in from space. Fresh poops at Walmart so she doesn't stink up her place. Space Goonie. In your local freezer section. Taking a poop. So yeah, I'm gonna start calling it the YouTube show. This is our YouTube show. This is Milo, of course. Oh, I should have patted him on the head. He looked up. And my name is Curtis. And this is a thing that I do I don't know what's wrong with me. Here's something that's right with me. How do I get from behind this? Rawr. Rawr. Come on, camera, get out of the way. Rawr. I'm a sexy dinosaur, is what that says. And if you go to Society 6 will never sound like a real word in my mouth. Society6.com/no such thing as grownups. I'm pretty sure I put a link at no such thing as grownups.com. One of these days I'll update the website once again and starting to get used to where your eyes are. Neighbors make noise. But that's fine. That's fine. That's what they're supposed to do. Today, have some stories of fun and intrigue. And, of course, last time at the farmer's market, I was going to say, you know what I did? I made sure to book a table at the farmer's market here in Truro this weekend, but I did not. That was the thing. That was the thing I was forgetting, Ripley. That was the thing. Yeah, I know it's not your responsibility, but if you could help me out. I said, all right, fine. So anyway, cats are only so much help. What's he looking at then? What's he looking at down there? What was that all about? Huh? What was that all about? I'll look wherever my eyes are. But anyway, some weird fun stories. But yeah, right after the stream, I'll have to make sure to message the market and say, hey, give me a table, Margaret. Give me a table. I want to sell some stuff. And last week, 2 weeks ago, before the hurricane, a bunch of people were like, yeah, sexy Luigi's awesome. Do more of those. And then I didn't. So today, I'm once again farming awesome pictures from Sean the Shooter on Instagram. Go follow Sean over there. They're the sexiest pictures in the world. I don't know where he finds these people. I don't know how the world works, but I know that I've gotten good responses from at least one of them. So I'm going to start throwing little Mario hats on every picture he's taken, and I'm going to sell them at the market. But, you know, I'll put a mustache. They'll always be changed, at least whatever the rule is, 28%, 32%, and not a court in the land. Not a court in the land. Who's this? Oh, you claim this is somebody you've taken a picture of? Show me the mustache. Show me the mustache. So anyway, Ripley, please remind me after the thing to do the thing to the market. I desperately need to sneeze and it's just not coming out. / I don't want it to. So anyway, got some new pencils. Ordered some red, some blue, and whatever this is, Tuscan red, because it was on sale for like $5 for a whole box, whereas some of the other ones were like, hey, you want this real nice blue, like your favorite blue? Like, I do. Yeah, that's like $30-some a box. Like, what? No, it's just a pencil. It's only a box of like 12. How come I can get this? I can get this color for $5. And then the internet's like, and I'm like, you're right. I will get that one for $5. Anyway, so that's what we're doing today. Just still roughing this in. Still need to do some abdominal details. And then we'll do probably mostly marker with this guy. Or just color and maybe just outlines. I can't remember if the Luigi had lines or if he was just color. I know how to figure that out. To the Instagram. I'll just scroll right down. He's got lines. Damn. Even better. Lines make it slightly easier. How do I... get back to... is this... why are you flipped? There we go. Ah! Everything's fine. Everything's not fine. Alright. Open this back up. Add reference photo. So anyway, Since I am going to draw lines on this, I'll need some line reference anyway. This guy's got some crazy veins. So, first of all, before we go too far and get too crazy, I'll go to the right camera where you can see what I'm drawing, because that's the whole point of this thing. I'm going to move the mouse, because that's not important right now. And there, now everything's normal. Sorry, once again, Ripley doesn't tell me about things unless, I make it happen because she's, not really there at all. See? I have to press a button to make it seem like she's pressing buttons and doing things. Pretty youthful, really. Really super youthful. I don't even like her. You don't like her anymore? Like we could let's just kill her. Let's just kill her and throw her in her garbage bag. There's a dumpster outside. It's so full right now that nobody will even notice that there's a dead cat in there. I promise and swear. No, that's not gonna. You're a monster. You're a monster. And anyway, speaking of Milo and making him talk and do things, on the weekend I finally tested out, now that the new computer's here with all of its power and speed, and lack of holes. Totally forgot I was angry about that, but I am. But there was a, I don't know, not even an issue. Got the computer, got it all set up. Like, all right, this thing is going to be amazing. Put all the hooked everything up from the old computer to this computer, copied everything over. Like, all right, game on. Started opening programs. Like right away, I was like, I wonder, just for fun, open Flash, open Photoshop, and some other random thing that always takes like a half hour each on my computer to open, or at least like minutes. And they were just all open, and I'm just like, I don't even know. What have I been doing? What have I been doing to myself for this whole time? Like, oh my god, there's such a fast world of high-speed computers out there. I've been just sitting here waiting for things for so long that I didn't need to even remotely wait for. This is bananas. That's not how that goes. I'm just blown away. So, don't really think too much of it. And then go to start work the next day. Like, oh yeah, I never plugged into the other monitor. That'll be easy because I just got a brand new HD cord that goes from a computer to a monitor, and it's new, and this is a new computer, and the cord I just got like a month ago. It was like $30 some, so there's not going to be any issues, of course, right? Like, why would there be any issues? There shouldn't be any issues. So I try to jam it in some holes in the back, and it was just like, there's no holes to fit. There's no holes to fit this. This is just display port cord for display ports. Why wouldn't it? It had 2 display ports on the old computer. Why would the new one have like 3, right? Or at least 2. 1? Has it got 1 back there? Anything? Hello? Excuse me, Mrs. Pummelhorse. I'd like to get down now. And no, there isn't. But of course, there's going to be 4. What are they called? USB-C holes. But no, they just took 2 holes away, and it's like, and here you go. Here's 2 USB-C holes. Great. Thanks. It's a little lightning icon on it. I'm gonna keep calling it a lightning bolt hole for the rest of the day. That's fine. It's really weird. I'm just too used to using 2 monitors to work, so I've got all my talky nonsense over on this screen and my worky nonsense on this screen. Then I can ignore this, but I have both of them in the same screen. Day ruined. So I go for a quick little walk around the neighborhood. Go to one computer, like a computer store. We fixed computers. The internet said, like, those guys had all the cords. They were amazing. Like, awesome. Well, I'm going to go gonna go there and get some of all of the cords. I mean, it's all the cords, right? So I go there and I'm looking like this guy definitely doesn't have all the cords. And he's like, "What can I help you with?" And I'm like a lightning to HD cable, like for the new Max monitor cable. Seems bananas. And he was like, "No, can't help you out." So I walked to the next store, same deal, reviews, like these guys were the best. They had all the parts. Get in there. Seems like, you know what, these guys might have all the parts. Asked the lady behind the counter, like, yeah, lightning to HD monitor cable. Actually, she didn't shake her head. She went back, like, let me check. Like, all right, that's a good sign. I mean, it's not because it's a super new thing, so you'll know if you have it. Of course, I'm only realizing at this point, like, oh, this is a super new thing. And she comes out, and I swear she said, it says, check Staples. Like, it says, what? Where did you go? Where did you go? Did you go on back to some weird Men in Black alien hive creature? Like, a cord I seek. Can you help me on this day? And instead of mucusating some sort of cord, gestating computer parts, whatever this weird creature is that has all the answers back there, it was just like, Staples? Just go to Staples. And still made some weird gurgling noises. And she was like, yeah, Staples. I'm like, yeah. Of course Staples has it. I'm trying not to go to Staples. And she's like, oh, yeah, I get that. I see that. Like, no, you don't. What? You don't seem to think that I hate Staples. I don't actually hate Staples. I just wanted to go to a place within my neighborhood because there's like 5 computer places within my neighborhood. Might as well support locally. And I tried so hard. I went to like 3 different places, at least 3 different places anyway. And then finally just ended up at Staples. And they were like, what? And I'm like, am I crazy? And thankfully, when I asked for it, I was right next to the Mac display where there's all kinds of Macs. And I was like, lightning cable. And he was like, there's no lightning. You mean a USB-C? No, you condescending piece of shit. I mean a lightning cable, and I grabbed the computer. A big, like, well, the computer I have right there, maybe it was a 27-inch. I don't know. It seemed really a lot like I shouldn't do this, but I did anyway. So I grabbed the Mac and like flipped it around and was like, look, I need one of these for this hole, for this computer, basically. Like, I've got the better version of this computer right here. And see, it doesn't have display port holes anymore. It's got lightning holes. And I can tell because it has a lightning bolt thing, the same as by the lightning bolt holes all the time, right? I don't know what's going on. There's Thunderbolt, there's Lightning Bolt, there's Ethernet, there's Serial, there's all kind of, the Serial isn't really used anymore. And I'm like, all I know is there's a Lightning Bolt. Is this, do I put the Flash's wiener in here? Is that what I do, sir? Shaking a Mac like it's an Etch-a-Sketch. No, I didn't do that, of course. I was just like, this one right here. And he was like, yeah, that's a USB-C. And I'm like, well, then why, in the least angry way possible, just like, but why is there a lightning bolt icon there then? And he was like, oh, yeah, like, Mac is weird. Like, everything is weird, but is everybody just going to call this a USB-C? So then when I actually look, I'm like, okay, lightning bolt is definitely flatter than this other thing. So it is straight up different. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I need, I guess. And he was like, all right, let's go over here and take a look at the same place you just looked at. Like, okay. Yeah, doesn't really seem to be anything over here. Like, okay. Yeah, but let me just go in back. Like, all right, good. That's been working out for me so far today. You going back. Have a good time. I'll just be out here, Brian Reganing, and having a good day. He goes out back. He's gone for what feels like not that long at all, but long enough for me to meander through a good 2 aisles or so. So I'm just looking around like a crazy person, just wondering, What am I even doing? What am I even doing? I'm gonna end up with like 4 different cords, aren't I? I don't want. I just got rid of that when I realized I don't need serial anymore. It's the future. I can just get a 1 cord from the monitor to the HD. Monitor to the HD is monitor hole to the HD hole. Monitor HD. Why? Why would there be something in between? It's insane. But it's an insane world. It's a crazy world that we live in this day and age. If you read any good news on the newspaper page, the loving condition, the grand design, oh, even harder to find. But everywhere you look, I think I just combined Full House and Family Matters themes together, but that's okay. So anyway, he comes out with a thing that is not an HD cable, and it is not a lightning cable. And he's like, yeah, we got this. Like, all right, what is it? What am I looking at here? I was hoping not to get a bunch of adapters. How many parts am I connecting today? And regardless, like, he held it up, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll take it. He's like, well, it's $80. I'm like, yeah, you got me. Like, I'll take it. It's fine. Even though in my head, I'm screaming. I'm going to Radio Shack after this. Once I go to the mall and take a piss, and then I'll bring it back right here when I get something cheaper. I'm just like, there's no way I'm sticking with this $80 adapter. Going into, do I even have another HD cable? Do I need to get another HD cable? Like, I'm bringing this back. I'm returning this within an hour. And anyway, I'm just like, yep, send the receipt to my email. Everything's fine. And he's like, well, this one's pretty good, though. Like, it's not, it's more expensive because it's not just the USB-C to, HD at least. It wasn't, I thought it was going to go to like USB-C to a monitor cable and then to whatever. It's like, at least this is just straight up HD. This should be fine. But he's like, it's also got a USB hole in it, so it gives you an extra USB hole, and it's got a USB-C hole on it, so you don't lose your USB-C when you're running stuff through this. You can still put some, like, oh, I can? I don't even know. Like, what other things are USB-C? And I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of new ones coming out soon, but this is the first ever time I've had to use a USB-C, but you're telling me, like, check it out. Like, the new hole that I've never used in my whole life in the last 5 years of having this other computer and other computers and whatever. Like, yeah, I'm not going to lose this hole. Good, great. What do I care? They're going to change the other end anyway. That's what they keep doing. So who cares? Thanks. Goodbye. I'll be back in an hour to return this. So I went to the Radio Shack, and I mean, before I went there, I was just like, I really don't want to give my money to Radio Shack. They are kind of the worst. I mean, at least I do like Staples. Radio Shack, I'm just like, The Source, whatever it's called now. I'm just like, hey, leave me alone. Let me just look at the 5 connectors you have left, because you got rid of all of the things you used to have that were useless in here. Replaced them with a bunch of really cheap, terrible drones and whatever, phone plans and TVs, I guess. Like, I don't know what you do in here anymore, Radio Shack. There's always somebody in here, though. Always busy. I think you're always busy doing returns, but whatever. None of my business. Hate you. But if you have something cheaper, I'm going to get it here. I'm going to return this because $80 is too insane. So right now, I'm using the $80, $102 after taxes adapter because there wasn't anywhere else. Everybody looked at me like I was out of my mind. Like, did these computers, like, I didn't get it. I got a new computer, but I still got it from the refurbished. Refurbished? Can you say it? Refurbished? Is it refurbished? Refurbished. Yeah, it's the weird word to say. I got it from the refurbished section, so it's still almost a year old, right? So this computer, this type of computer, has existed for at least a year. So I'm never too new. That's never a thing. I'm always two years back looking for weird adapters for my PlayStation 3 and my mini Nintendo. Oh, snaps. But in the end, anyway, it's an amazing computer. The adapter seems to be running great. And finally ran the streaming stuff, the Nintendo, the capture card, and Milo's face. On Saturday, I did a quick little test. And then Sunday, I sat down and played Mega Man with you guys. But like the issue, like on Saturday, I thought like, all right, everything's pretty great. This will take. I'm just gonna take a few minutes. I'm just gonna kind of set this up, do like a 2-minute test, or actually, I'm gonna set this up and I'm gonna play a game for a little bit. We're gonna have some Nintendo fun. And then I don't know, a few hours passed, and I'm just like test, record, watch, nope, test, record, watch, nope, and just adjusting the offset of things by a little bit and trying to figure out like why can't I get any of these things to sync up? And like just messing with it forever, and then realizing like the next day when I did the stream, then I'm like, okay, so it's not me. It's basically every time I change something, it just doesn't really matter because I'm like, all right, it's off by about a second. That's 100 milliseconds. Offset it by or 1,000 milliseconds. Offset it. This should be fine. Play it. Okay, this is definitely off by about 3 seconds now. Change it again. Okay, now it's only off by like 4 milliseconds for sure. Adjust that by like 20. Now it's off by like 3 seconds again. What's going on? So there was no consistency, so I spent like what felt like just about 2 days slightly changing things again and again. And then Milo himself, his video, like now that the audio was all offset, Milo was playing in real time. So that's wonderful if I want to do a stream with just Milo talking at the camera, which you totally should do. I mean, I will do when you're not at home or whatever. Maybe when you are at home, and I'll just lock the door. I don't care. I'm a jerk like that. Yeah. That's fine. But the amount of effort I put into not doing the stream yet was like just claw my face off. And my face never did really think up now that I think about it. My blinks were lasting forever or not happening at all. Sometimes it seemed like a good 3 seconds, if not more, after I would say something when my mouth would actually move. And of course, the lag time. Can we even talk about the lag time? We should all just have a nice talk about the lag time, I think. Yeah. I think, again, because of the way to try and offset Milo, instead of streaming him from the character animator program right into OBS, like you're supposed to, which gives me the transparency so I can put him in front of stuff. Magical. I was like, there's no offset for this. The closest thing is like a weird offset render. I don't know if that means what I think it means, but it only goes as far as 500, and I needed to go to like 3,000, maybe 1,000, maybe 2,021. That was one of the numbers for a little while. So I'm thinking I might just limit his head movements a little bit. Hopefully that'll help him not freeze up as much. But anyway, yeah. So there was no way to offset that. So I'm like, well, the Nintendo is offset, and that's not streaming rating because that's not a thing that the Mac offers. How am I doing that again? So that's like a screen capture of a window capture playing in a thing. So that has definitely some you know, lag issues for sure. I'm sure, but basically running three video heavy things at the same time, it can only really do two comfortably, and it handled two of them pretty good. But yeah, sometimes it was just like, oh wow, Milo's face is dropping frames like they are hot. But in the end, still fun. When I skimmed through, I watched some of it back, mostly just to be like, I'm gonna go watch myself beat the Quick Man level, and then also realizing I never even tried out the boomerangs. They're my favorite. They're my favorite, and I love them. But I didn't even try the Quick Man power. But I did have to go and see like some of these levels. Like I can't believe I did all that within like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Mega Man used to be, you know, a weekend long, at least a full on Saturday and into Sunday, like pausing it and leaving it there overnight, like just burning out the TV. Like, we're gonna make it through this. We're gonna make it through this someday, somehow. What do ears look like? Of course, now the music is fully just like burned into my mind now. Even just now, looking at the reference, and it's been happening definitely all day for sure. Um, all I can hear is the the background music. Silence turns to do 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 do. Oh damn it! Do 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 do. I don't even know which. I think that was the Airman music. Maybe just because I was stuck on that thing for so long. But just keeps rolling into my head. Yeah, I just said, what do ears look like? Still learning. Mario mustache, do 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 do. But anyway, outside of computer nerdery and cat based nonsense, I love that totally not timed, and he's not programmed to do anything. But I love that 50% of the time when I gesture towards him, it's right at a time when he looks at me or does that and backs away, and that's a success to me. That's a win. I don't know. At the end of the day, when you go to sleep and you're like, check, I'm gonna put that in the point for me column. That's one of those things that's like just brightens up my day. That's my hey Facebook. Here's my list of things that I'm blessed for today. Blah 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 blah. Whatever nonsense other people say, and I'm like, my cat that isn't there sometimes reacts when I put my hand up. Hey, look over here. Excuse me, sir. Thank you. Stuff like that. It's fun to do. What about when go with the close up? What's your policy on the close up? What that deal all about? Feel free to hit there at any point in time with their whatever. It's going to keep shaping my mustache while you look for the button. There we go. It's funny because, yeah, Talking Milo, his loop is great because it doesn't restart every time I click over to him, so it could be anywhere within the loop. And that's just, again, more magic for me. And also my secrets, don't steal them anybody else except for Pat, because I stole some of them from him. Mario in his tight red shirt. Wait, I forget. It's red shirt, blue suspenders? Yes, that's correct, right? Got nothing Mario based in this room. Just a Nintendo. So, in the world of less nerdy stories, non-computer stories. Yeah, I think so. Except I thought that the Kerbal guy is still using your mouth while you're doing it, but maybe that was just something you recorded and it loops. I guess it was on the weekend. What day is it today? But at some point, out in the world, adventuring, wandering around town as I do. I guess I had two. Well, no, this other one is an adventure. None of them are. I went and grabbed something to eat at the engine room. It's the best place. It's just the best. One of the best places. I guess the other thing is I don't go to different places. I keep realizing like, oh, I've never tried that place. Like I haven't tried any place. I go to like 4 different places in the town since I've lived here, and basically keep going to the same ones. So I'll often go back to the engine room again and again. And I'm at the engine room. I order my food. And a lady comes back over to bring, I don't know, my drink, I guess, whatever it was. And I already had my sketchbook out and was starting to doodle some vampire lady or something. And then she's like, oh, like, you must be an artist. And I'm like, yep. I guess so. That's what I do. Can't not. Don't know how to answer this question without feeling like a pretentious weirdo. Like, yes, I don't know. I'm sorry. I make art. I'm just trying to draw. Try not to draw attention. I don't know. I'm hungry and I'm lazy. So I recognize her, of course, as the lady who I've already talked to about drawing and doing stuff. And she recognizes me. She's like, "Oh, hey, actually," she's like, "You're the guy from like the patio who was out there drawing in the summertime." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I imagined that was me." I don't know why there wouldn't be more people, but yeah. In the summertime, it was the best. Come here, it was nice out, sit on the patio. We've had several stories about me having my headphones on and talking to the people who were talking about me who didn't realize I no longer had my headphones in. And the weird things they were yelling and whatnot. So she was like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Actually, the last time you were here drawing, and we talked about it or whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah." she's like, I went out like that day or the next day or whatever it was, and she's like, and I got myself like a little sketch pad and some pencils or whatever, and I've just been like doodling, like mostly just like eyes. I was like, I don't know, that's weird, like mostly just eyes. I'm like, yeah. That was like me and all my art class friends. Like all we'd always started with eyes. Like everybody's obsessed with drawing eyes. That's a thing that everybody does. And she's like, yeah, that was great. Like, yeah, just like, just see you there doodle it or whatever. Like, it inspired me to go home and do some doodling. Like, okay. I don't know. Like, in the moment, I'm just like, I'm real hungry. And you're clearly going to go back to work if I start talking. So this isn't like a intro to, hey, let's talk about drawing and art, because I'm about to, but I still manage to stop myself just by like, you just keep doing it if you want to do it. That's it. It's the only trick to things is practice. Just like they say. And then she was gone. So that was pretty, I don't know, positive. Just I don't know, like a thing of like, hey, don't go out there and try to be better than everybody. Don't try to be impressive. Just do something that might inspire somebody who's into that thing to maybe do that thing more, but don't try to shove inspiration down people's throat. Unless, of course, you got yourself a live stream, then spend the whole time shoving inspiration down everyone's throat. Yeah, that's what we do here. Remind people you don't have to grow up. You can just be an adult who does the things that you enjoy. Still, or for the first time ever. I mean, most of the stuff that I do are all the things that I wanted to do as a kid. And now I'm like, hey, most of those things I can do now because I have a computer that can do all those things. Or I've already animated a little cat that I can have sit next to me and occasionally press a little button and go, what are we talking about again? I was not paying attention. You doing something dumb and inspirational? Nobody likes that. Just draw the picture, shut up your dumb faith about all the things. He's not wrong. So this is mostly inked in, I guess, for now until I do the brush around the edges, but I've learned to save that to last because the brush markers just make a giant mess. Now, the setup that I have going on here is not conducive to actually grabbing markers out of the thing, but let's see what I can do here. So that was that. That's not a story. Just hey, every once in a while, somebody turns around and says, hey, excuse me, you made a little difference in my life at some point. And I'm pretty sure that is the reason I get out of bed in the morning. Is for those moments, whether they really matter or not, or doesn't matter, because nothing really matters. Everything is just nonsense. Everything is just nonsense. Like I said, my job is mostly drawing stuff like this and alert pop-ups and whatnot and merch designs for people who do this type of thing for a living. Like, hey, what did you do all week, Susan? I turned on my live stream camera and I just chatted with people, drank some tea, pretended to be Bob Ross for a minute. Like, wow, that's amazing. And you can afford to live like that? Like, yeah. But does it matter? Like, are you saving lives? Like, no, I'm not a doctor, but I'm still affecting people, hopefully in a positive way. That's all the good streamers out there. I'm sure there's, of course, evil, toxic streamers. But more often than not, I deal with the nice streamers. And outside of that world, hold on. So many other things that people do don't matter at all. I mean, we could list them for hours and days. Even the other thing where I'm just like, the only thing that really matters is like doctors and paramedics and people saving lives. But a lot of those times, I'm sure somebody comes out of, this is going to be real morbid real quick, but you know, the old like, that old garbage dump of a person. I wish the paramedics hadn't even showed up. They actually made the world worse, saving that guy. That's pretty morbid and dark. But, oh, that's pretty much gray. But sometimes, bad people get saved. So then what is there's still the righteous and good thing to do. Like if you're doing a good thing for a bad person, are you helping that person to do more of their bad things? And again, I like to believe that no, 9 times out of 10, even the whole like, oh, I'm not giving that homeless guy some money, he's just going to spend it on booze. Maybe. And even if he does, if you are giving him that money, or her, or they, if you're giving them the money to help them, then it's not up to you what kind of help they get. If the help that they're looking for is some medicinal help, i.e. like, let me drink away this pain or whatever, your money's going to buy, or it is just like, I have hunger pains, I'm going to go buy some food. You still probably like, oh, I wish they would get some fresh vegetables instead of whatever. Like, this is dire straits. Like, they're doing their best. Did I just grab the one that I decided I'm not going to grab? I think that I did. Anyway, but in the end, it's not about... what was that thing I already said earlier? It's not trying to be better than everybody else. You're not trying to be like, oh, let me like show you how to be a better person because I'm a better person. It's just about being a better person to yourself. And then, hey, here's that money. Whatever you do with it, as long as you make what your life in your eyes better, then that's great. Or maybe they'll look at you and go, hey, that guy looks like he's super sober and he's got his life taken care of. Maybe I'll sober up right now and I'll use this money to go get some vitamins. I don't know. But either way, it's not about controlling the next person's life. It's just about doing something good. I didn't go like, ooh, if you want to draw eyes, then come with me. Let's do a little drawing tutorial. And yeah, it's basically comes down to that. Like, don't be that person that doesn't give anything to anybody then. So whether they were going to use it for something healthy or not, you don't know. You don't know. So then somewhere in your head, it's just like, you know what would have made you feel good, but because you're like, oh, that might make that person feel good in a way I don't want to, like, shut it down. So now you lose out on your 50-50 chance of doing something good for somebody on the 2 levels that I give them something and they do something good with it, or just slash the 1 level, here's something, did something good, feel good about myself, whatever happens after this, up to you. And anyway, it's weird things like that, those weird thought puzzles that allow me to have a Milo or do things like this, because it is just like, there's somebody right now actually on whatever the Facebook, the Truro Rant and Raves page on Facebook, I'm sure Miramichi, wherever you're from, has one, and I realized these are the worst places in the world. Actually, this one wasn't even a rant and rave thing, but they pulled me into the other one where it was like, no, get me out of here. This was an accident. Just trying to join, like, hey, the local Facebook page where people were talking about stuff. And it had, the day that I looked, was the day that I wanted to know about something that was happening down the street. And it was there, and they were like, hey, this is what's happening. Like, all right, cool. And then, one weird old lady's like, I don't agree with it. This is nuts. Everyone shouldn't be doing this. Like, what? They're just changing over the lights to a different kind of set of lights. Well, they're impeding on the whatever. Like, what if my daughter's coming home from her job and she like, what are you talking about, lady? What are you talking about? And there's always somebody there that's like, all right, Helen, like, we know, but what if you just didn't click on these things and just went about your day? So whatever. Like, I ended up, like, one of them popped up in a normal thing later on. I feel like it was that same lady from that group that I'm like, nope, get me out of here. But when, yeah, I think I mentioned that. Like, when the Pride Parade was happening, it was like, boop, the Pride Parade page pops up to say, like, hey, the Truro Pride is presenting the Truro Pride Parade on this day. Come on out. It'll be down this street and that street and la 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 la. Everything's going to be great. And then everybody's, all the comments are just like, yay, can't wait. I'm going to be in the parade. Like, woo, parade. Hope there's candy, etc. And then one dumb lady is like, well, just, it's not for me. So I hope everyone has a good time, but just like, it doesn't need to involve me. It has nothing to do with me. No thanks from me. Like, that was fully unnecessary. Fully unnecessary for you to point out, like, hey, person who you didn't know was even going to be interested and you already knew wasn't interested if you do know me, I'm not going to come out to that thing I'm not going to come out to. And if you didn't know I was coming out, now you do know that I'm not coming out. Like, who are you? Like, this is just, if I was a, more psychotic person, I almost said if I was a psychotic person, if I was a more just intensely crazy person, I definitely would have been like, well, now I got to kind of stalk this lady and find some more crazy comments, and I have to comment back and just start a war. I guess got to start a war. But I'm just like, thank God I am not that person anymore, at least anyway. I'm just like, no. Just having normal conversations on Facebook doesn't work. It's too much of a weird, volatile place. It's definitely not going to go start wars with people. That is an absolute volatile situation that I would be asking for. So why would I do that? So thankfully, within that thread, somebody already wrote like, totally, thanks avocado, shake. Like you don't need to come, you don't need to get involved, it's fine, like just stay home and it's fine, in the most politest way possible. And then she was like, oh my god, like yeah, like that's what I'm saying, like I just hope everyone has a good time, like I'm not trying to say that I hate everybody, I'm just pointlessly mentioning that I ain't gonna be there. And again, that's why, like, I don't know, I'm trying my best to, like, not look at Facebook until, like, the end of the day for a minute just to see, like, is there something I should know about? No? All right, cool. Because it really is. It's such a toxic environment, even on the best day, of just, like, even, again, like, the amount of time I think about that I myself have been that person, I'm sure I still do it every once in a while, but do that thing where it's just like, oh, a Justice League movie? Like, I think not. I would love to be able to watch a Justice League movie, but I've seen the animated versions and they're quite competent in telling a Justice League story with appropriate character arcs and character designs. Whereas these movies, they're a strict and heavy bastardization of the characters I've grown to love and blah, 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 bling, 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 blah. And it's just like, who cares? Who cares? Like, literally, it's just like, hey, everybody's into something. Guess what? Hey, again, like, hey, it's me. I'm the one who doesn't watch Game of Thrones. And it's not like, hey, guys, Game of Thrones is stupid, and you're stupid for watching it. Like, nope. It looks very involved and very heavy and full of a lot of things to keep track of. And I don't watch it because of that. Because it is, like, that is thick and complicated. And I I don't love dragons that much as I like dinosaurs. Not a giant dragon person. Again, don't hate dragons. Don't hate medieval stuff. I don't want to watch 75 episodes of medieval stuff that, again, is just like The Walking Dead. Love The Walking Dead for a minute, but, it's both of those things are just like, you guys are just kind of sitting around for 40 minutes talking about what could happen and what did happen, but nothing's happening. Is something going to happen? Something's happening. And that's it. 44 minutes, show's over. Tune in next week for not the rest of that thing that started happening, more of us vaguely talking about it as if none of the characters were there for it, having misunderstandings until nothing makes any sense, and I stop watching and don't care anymore. So I only made it through, a few minutes of Game of Thrones for that reason. But again, if you love it, love it. All right, I do this thing. This is my dumb Game of Thrones that I don't have a Game of Thrones audience for. So I make up my own. You having a good time over there, Ripley? Yeah, you are. You're my sweetest angel of the world. And I'm also an angel of sweetness, like cream butter cookies. Huh? Sweet stuff. Me? Anybody? No. Not at all. You're the worst. You're the worst, and I hate you, and everybody should hate Milo. I don't know why I switched to that camera. Remember on Morning Everybody when I had a little Lego audience? They still technically exist. I keep thinking about putting them back in, animating them somewhere. But, cut to a little audience of Lego men cheering for me. Maybe I do have a serious narcissism problem. Hey, what'd you do? What'd you do all weekend? All weekend? Oh, you know me. Mostly designed, built, and animated characters to praise me like they should. Normal stuff. Like normal people do. Nothing weird. You're weird. Mustache color. Is this too light? That's too dark. Gonna take this brown right here. Do. Maybe I'll test it. Do. Yeah, good enough. Okay. But speaking of imaginary people, hey, let's talk about hanging out with real people. Oh yeah, before I get to real people that I know, real people I don't know. After the inspirational, hey, I got a sketchbook after watching you draw. Thanks, lady. Now I feel special. Went to go pay for my food. And I'm not that guy that's just like, check please, come over here, take my money, bring a machine, do whatever. I'm not moving until well after I've paid my check. And then I will go take a giant dump in your toilet, and then I might leave. Maybe. No, I'm the guy that's like, finished eating. Pack everything up fairly neatly, clean up my area as best I can with whatever I have available to me, because I'm not psychopath. And then I immediately go up to wherever the register is, wherever people congregate to pay for stuff on their way in or out. I just go straight there. Is this gonna stay? And she's like, "You're all ready to go?" And I'm like, "All ready." And as near as I can tell, while I was trying to pay, a new girl had started, maybe, I guess, working, or a new lady, a new woman, at the restaurant. And they're like, discussing that, I guess. Totally legal, totally fine. Looking for my water brush. Because of how we are situated, they are also still kind of including the lady who I'm paying. So she's getting the machine ready and doing stuff. She's looking up at them. She's looking up at me, and it's just like, you can't do that. That's a excuse me. That's a crime scene piece of yarn, drawing me in, connecting me to this conversation. Now you can't look at me and them. Now we're all part of this, and I don't know what's going on, and I'm pretty sure I should just be looking away like a psychopath. So they're talking, and the one lady specifically is talking, and I want to say in my direction. Now, obviously, she's talking to the lady who I'm dealing with, but I'm just like, I'm not just going to stare away as if a person isn't talking towards me. If somebody is alive and their mouth is moving, I'm not going to ignore them. Like, I'm just not. I mean, this thing isn't even alive and it barely moves, and I don't ignore this. But I don't know. Society is hard. So I looked at the person who was talking, and then she stopped talking and was just like, hello, which completely destroyed me. just a cold wind of just, what do I do now? Like, what do I do now? I was thinking, maybe whatever you're talking about might have something to do with how I'm paying, what I'm doing. Am I connected to this at all? Can I just leave? This feels like it's taking forever. And I'm just like, all right, I didn't wave. I was just like, hi. And just continue, just kind of look from person to person, because just like, I don't know, like, I'm not going to explain, like, you were talking, and I'm within the circle. I'm in the talking circle, so I have to look at the person that's talking. I'm sorry. That's not that complicated, right? Again, I don't know. She just said hello. I didn't have... Always projecting. Maybe it means nothing. Just like, yep, hello. You're here. I'm just going to say hello. And that's fine, and that's normal. People say hello. It's completely normal. But then I don't know how to end things. Or is it red suspenders, blue shirt? Is that what I said? Damn it. Alright, let's look this up real quick. This is literally just offensive to everybody. Mario. Red shirt, blue suspenders. Red shirt, blue suspenders. Yeah, it's weird. Jordan posted this thing on his Facebook a while ago. He was like, without looking, just answer right away. Like, what color is Mario's shirt? And I was just like, oh my god, like, this is breaking my brain. Because, I was like, of course it's red, but Mario, but his overalls are red, right? It's a real brain breaker. What did I just do with the... Oh, there it is. So while I'm still talking to the other lady who was like, she likes me, she's fine with me. She, her hellos mean hello. I don't have to second guess them. So I'm just like, I'm not looking at anybody else except for the lady who's dealing with my money, who dealt with my food. Back to my reference photo. And I'm just like, I feel like I'm really sneaking into a conversation I shouldn't be part of. And she made it all better by saying, no, you're not. It's fine. Everything's fine over here. And then she made it slightly worse. Only from a societal standpoint. She's like, nah, we're women. We're always talking. Women are always talking. Hey, don't worry about it. We're women. Women talk. And just like, that's so pejorative. Don't do that. Don't belittle. Don't say that. Like, no, all women don't talk. That's not a thing. That's a very misogynist way to treat yourselves. Some people are quite quiet, and also whatever you're talking about is pertinent to your job and your life right now. You're not just like we're just gabbing away because we're gabby old ladies. You know how ladies are gabbing. Like, no, you're not. You're at your job doing your job. That's why I feel like out of place here, because you're not just gabbing. If you were, I'd be all up in this conversation, adding my stuff, because that's what I do. That's why I ended up talking to the lady that works at the Bentley bag store for like 45 minutes, because I jumped in on a conversation because they said something that I had a punchline for. But I feel like I started to, but I'm just like, again, that same thing. Like, you guys have work to do. You are talking about your jobs. I'm not going to sit here and start gabbing, because I do actually just gab for hours about nothing. I have a whole internet about it. And if I feel like I've run out of something to say, then I jump in and I take the rest of that sandwich. Close enough. Oops. So anyway, then it's just like, all right, that was that adventure. Again, not an adventure, just a meal and 40 seconds of anxiety while paying. Well, let's see what I got in here. Now Space Goonie has a new little job where she's gotta talk to people like Rob. And Rob comes in and he's like, I'm not buying anything today unless it's a birthday of a relative. But yeah, if you're at Miramichi, go down to the antique shop. Don't buy any of the other stuff. Just get whatever. Ask Space Goonie if she's working and say, hey, which stuff did you do? It's the bottles. And then buy some of those bottles and artisan stuff. Maybe she gets a commission. I don't know. Come on, Miramichi. Be useful to me for once. Oh, man. I'm a monster. And like I said, in the world of being a normal person, the other day, that wasn't that day. I don't know. One of these days was Saturday. One of them was Sunday. It's all a blur. So yeah. Oh yeah. That's where I started my tale of nonsense. Move this here. So when I was trying to get Milo's face working, and I'm just like, oh, that's enough of that. It's a nice day outside. I'm not going to waste whatever last few minutes of summertime exist. I'm going to go for a walk. Maybe check out the dollar store or something. Comic book store. I don't know. Just going to go wander around. Have a bit of an adventure. And then I did. Wandered around for a while. Went to the comic book store, and they had a bin of some like crazy old-timey discount stuff, and I'm like, hard to pass up a bin of crazy old-timey discount stuff. And no offense, go down to Cooper's Cabin when you're in Truro. They have awesome stuff. It's all the collectibles, jewelry, all the video games, all the systems, all the everything. It's the best. I almost never. I find it so hard to walk out of there without something. I'm still only halfway through the Batman Dracula book that I bought. It's pretty great. Oh no, this was still too red. and in the bin was a stickfa, but even crazier, a stickfa pterodactyl. And I'm like, oh, you're kidding me. I used to love, is it even called stickfa? I believe it's called stickfa. I can't quite see it from here. But there were these little toys that you could get. They were about this big. They were way too expensive, but you would put them together. They were all kind of either ball joints or just different kind of joints. So they were just super posable little guys. Tons of little accessories. They were kind of the best. And no, stickfa. So this thing here. So originally $13. I'm sure before that it was probably like 20 something. I only had I had the samurai and like a police guy, only because like these are way too expensive and the joints get kind of worn out real quick, so they don't like stay as rigid, so they'll very quickly. So I managed to do like maybe one stop motion with one 1,000 years ago. But yeah, if we look real close here, this is in focus. There's like a horse. This guy's got some like military gear. Maybe this will focus. There we go. There's a stegosaur. So they're kind of like stylized, like little stickman type figures. And yeah, so they're all jointed and everything. So this one's like two pterodactyls, like one glow in the dark and one not. And I'm like, this is gonna be amazing. So I get home and I'm like, go to put it together, but as I'm buying it, I'm like, I might just be buying this box, and then I don't know what's going to happen here, because this is some real old plastic. I don't have a whole lot of high hopes for it. Get it out, start snapping the things off to put together, and right away, like they're so brittle that I'm like, oh, this is not meant to be animated with anymore. Or played with, or anything. Like it's just... it's pretty much just done as far as the plot. Like just way too old. But I don't know. I still got quite a few parts left of two of them, so I might be able to Frankenstein them together into one still. And yeah, then and then not play with it, but I'm definitely going to play with it until it breaks. But I'll probably animate it, so at least I'll have a record of the playing with it. But before I went to the comic book store, I was in that area of town, and I get a text, and Nellie's like, "Hey, you want to hang out in the park? I'm in the park with my kid and some other kid. Do you wanna be an adult that I can talk to in the park?" And I'm like, no, because there's still gonna be kids there. But of course, I didn't say no. Oh, if somebody covers up this sexy Mario, it'll be the same guy as last time for sure. I'm like, yeah. I'm like literally almost at the park. I'm like 2 seconds away. I'll be right over. And we can hang out at the park. So, go to the park, and it's just like, again, this is just because it's me. Just like, so weird, like just a whole new world, a new, not fantastic point of view, but definitely different and totally weird. But yeah, like when you go to the park, there's like, you can walk in, and then it goes into all the trails, and I was just gonna say ladders, stairways, and waterfalls, and all that stuff. But right at the beginning, there's like a fenced-in area where your kids play. And there's like playgroundy stuff, and every time I walk by there, I'm always just watching the parents that are either just like, ugh, just on their phone, like, is this kid done playing yet? Thank God they're not talking to me, whatever. Or the other parent that's like, hey, look, like, you can climb this thing. I'm climbing this thing. I love this. And the kid's just like, ugh, I don't even care. Can I just be looking at my phone? When are you done? But this time, I was inside the fence. Which is fine. It's totally fine. But so, like, again, just because it's my perspective and not anybody else's, just like, this is insane. Like, this is insane. Nobody's even saying, like, you should get out of here. What are you doing here? You don't even like kids. But just being so close to, like, so many just parent energy is both inspiring and disgusting. So some of it is just like, oh wow, great. Like, there are a bunch of people that are interested in their kids. They're actually acting like a family and they're having a great time. Not all people are garbage. Good job, world. Good job. One guy was just like, I still can't tell if this is awesome or terrible. It seems to be both, but it's just like a little girl, and he was just putting her through training. Like, when I first came in, he was like throwing a ball and he was like trying to get her to play catch, but like on the baseball diamond, like from like by the pitcher's mound. Like, this means nothing to her. She's like 3 years old. What does she care about this? Why are you playing catch right there? And it's because, you know, in your head, like, this is still the closest thing to playing baseball. And need something darker. But then he was like just cranking her on the swing, just going like crazy. Again, it's like she seems to be liking it, but it also kind of looks like astronaut training from here. And then when we were finally leaving, like, they were still there. I'm just like, oh my god, like, he is still running this kid through her paces. Like, whoa, oh my god, like, this is wow. Oh jeez. Long pencil case. I think this might be the same. But again, like, she seemed to be loving it, so I was like, all right, awesome. Like, again, everyone's having a great time here. No need to go to war. Really don't like that's that. So we will go. It's too late. It's too late. What was in there? It's probably on the coffee table. So this suit you. So anyway, just that weird world of, yeah, just like, I don't belong here. But fun seemed to be had by all. The kids were being dropped off with Nellie's. With her mom, so she was trying to tire them out so that they wouldn't, you know, wreak havoc on her life. But anyway, while in there observing these things in their natural environment, for the most part, the parents were just being regular. I couldn't come up with any wacky stories about them. But the kids, they eventually managed to form like a little group of varying ages. There was one like new little kid, and he was tiny. I'm like, what is even happening here? And he, to me, didn't seem old enough to be aware of, you know, anything. I don't know. All of a sudden, they were playing Zombie Apocalypse. And I'm like, what's Zombie Apocalypse? And Nelly was like, I don't know. And I'm like, wait, this isn't a thing they normally play? Like, no. And then suddenly, I guess they were in a zombie apocalypse, because all of a sudden, I was like, oh, they're just in zombie apocalypse. They're just going at it. Because all of a sudden it was just like, I got this kind of gun. And they were like naming guns that I assume are from some sort of game or something. But again, the one little kid was just like, and then this. And he's like trying to murder zombies and survive all within his own head. And then they'd be like, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Because all three of them are watching a different movie, playing a different game, but the games are overlapping, and that's amazing. Like, you know, I remember that from being a kid, and, you know, again, like seeing other parents look at stuff like that are just like, our kids are weird. What are they even doing? Like, you didn't do this? You didn't have weird epic imagination games? But the best part, and this is the only I don't even know. I don't know what it is. It's just like those Truman Show moments, but like that thing that I have where I'm like, okay, I keep seeing these things. This is obviously a show for me that people are doing. And then you see a little kid and you realize, oh wow, like I'm seeing these little vignettes of people's lives. He just had a whole like just movie cutscene thing happen to him, around him, and he's really into it. But the best part is like, I should have written it down, but it was like whatever the final happened, and then like he looked up and he said something like, and that's the way the cookies crumble, and then kept walking away or whatever. And I was just like looked at Nellie and she looked at me. And again, this wasn't one of the kids that she was with. This was just the new random kid that showed up and joined their little wolf pack. And we're just like, that kid just had like a crazy movie, like just what I just said, a crazy movie moment. And then he turned to the camera and he gave us his like Schwarzenegger line, and then went on with the movie. Like, he just had a, what is the world? What kind of Wi-Fi are we built on? What do we all know? What do these kids know? What is he watching? How is this a thing? But again, if you watch enough cartoons, especially, it is all set up in a specific structure to have these action points. So of course there's going to be like some John McClane going on in all of the children's cartoons, and they don't realize what it is. But the fact that he John McClaned us. And it's like, you're not even playing with us. You don't even care. You were with the other kids. And you turned to us. Are we the camera? And yes is the answer. Yes is the answer. Today's YouTube adventure is, of course, brought to you by Booster Juice. Cups. Booster Juice cups. There's no Booster Juice in this. This is plastic cup that I got from Booster Juice one day, and kind of intended I'm going to bring it back and have them fill it up, but I just make my own juice in my own blender and put it in this cup because it's awesome. But I do love Booster Juice. And if they want to send me, I guess I don't want them to send me Booster Juice. Boxes and boxes of coupons for free Booster Juices and energy balls. I'm down for that. Do it. I can put Booster Juice stickers all over this little table. Now, one thing that we all forgot, Ripley. Yeah, you didn't remind me at all. Was a little bit of background. So I meant to, before I put the markers on. Just like Luigi, put a few little Mario blocks. And hills in the background. Oh, no, that's not how it goes. Green. So that was part of that adventure, and then I ended up at the comic store, talked to one of my random neighbors for a long time, poked through the comic books for a little while. And away I went. Oh yeah, and I went home and worked on some stuff aside from Milo. And yeah, that's the other thing is like not posting things because it's like projects for people that are, you know, gonna use that stuff on their own. And they don't need me Instagramming it before they do. It's like, I feel like I haven't done anything in like 4 days just because I haven't Instagrammed it. I need to Instagram it. If I don't Instagram it, it's not real. Hey Mario, why are you taking your pants off right here outside while we're right by the question blocks? Why don't you go into the castle? You're like the king of Mario Land or something now, aren't you? You're such a crazy toadstool. Oh, man. There was some other story that I definitely meant to write down. Because I'm like, I'm going to forget this. Just like the sketchbook lady. Excuse me. I thought for sure I'm going to forget this. But then I didn't. But because I remembered that one, I forget the other thing. Damn it, that's the same. Alright, let's just move this. Oh, there we go. After every stream, I have so many just markers everywhere. I don't know how I do it. Because he's Mario and he's got no pants. He's like, hey, can I do my Mario dance? ha, he, wahoo. He jumps up in the air. Hey, he's got a flying hat. He don't care. Mario, where you going now? Going down in that pipe, gonna find some coins. Like a cow? I don't know, I got nothing. Trying to... Okay, let's just... Oops, what am I doing? Everything's still going. There we go. You can't just grab onto a mouse while you're doing stuff. Okay, put this here, somewhere in here. There we go. The blue watercolor pencil. Avocado Supreme Shake. Why do I have a weird feeling that I've already done a sexy Bowser for somebody for some reason? Or at least somebody has asked me about that in the past. And I've been like, yeah, I guess I could do that, and then I never did. Was it you? Have I met you once before? I'm pretty sure we met at least once when we were both in Halifax, perhaps at a comic book type thing. And did you then mention a sexy Bowser? Anyway, Avocado Shake is also messaging me on Instagram while we're doing this, so she's watching, and I'm having a conversation. She just said, anyway, it's for a gift. Water pen. So I've done like a weird, creepy, scary Bowser. Yeah, it had to have been somebody else, but somebody's definitely also asked me about sexy Bowser. But also, yes, of course. Oh yeah, you guys, I'm just gonna be Avocado Shake's just personal artist from here on out, so that's I'm gonna change the name to everything to Avocado Shaking. Shaking out art for the avocado every week. We'll do what she pays me to do. Wait, that's the job I already have. It's just random people, but every once in a while that does happen where somebody's just like, "Hey, I need this. Hey, it's me again. Can I commission another thing? Hey, me again." And I really do genuinely go around those weeks and months just being like, "Hey, like I'm Michelangeloing. There we go. I'm Michelangeloing over here." And people were like, "What do you mean? Like, you chucking? You throwing some chucks around?" Like, no! For once, I'm not talking about the Ninja Turtle, but the artist. I'm like, Michelangelo and the Pope over here. And it used to be a Renya. I would call her my Pope for a while. She was getting me to do a bunch of art for her family restaurant in the city. So just like, oh, sorry, can't talk now. The Pope's on the phone and she wants some more restaurant art. So I'm sure it's still there. I've yet to go actually down to Halifax Way. But if you're in Dartmouth on Pleasant Street, go to the Pleasant Street Diner. Excuse me, it'll make you burp. If there's a picture of like the people who work there. Hey, on the wall, possibly framed, drawn like semi-caricature style. Mostly that looks like the little Sam characters that pop up sometimes. I don't have a little Sam button. Um, uh, I did that. That was a commission by me. So yeah, a lot of their like little holiday events and this and that. Like I'll do little things specifically for them, and they like it. But yeah, for like I don't know, it seemed like a whole summer or a whole year. Every once in a while, I'd be like, "Bing, bing, it's me again," and I'm like, "I'm on it, Pope." I didn't say that to her, of course. Although she would have thought it was funny. I might have, but I don't think I did. I think that was just when I talked about her behind her back, calling her the Pope. The Pope of my Michelangelo roofs. Pope needs a new ceiling. I'm on it. There we go. I didn't separate the audio like Pat said I should. But I eventually realized, like, oh, I know what he's talking about now. I know exactly how to separate this audio to make it sound great. But I didn't. But I do have a button for it. All right? What button? What button are you gonna press? Can I press the button? Is it my turn? Am I allowed to move my hands yet, or are my hands frozen here forever? I'll just press it with my faith. Actually, yeah, just take the button and press it against my faith. Do it. You didn't do it? I closed my eyes so you can press it against my faith. You never press anything against my faith. I think I hate it here. All right, Pat. Guess what? The answer to, hey, maybe I should separate the audio. I just gave a whole diatribe. Diatribe? Diatribe. Now I gotta look that up. But I just gave a whole little speech-roo about how I didn't separate the audio, so the audio is going to be off. Pat. But what I really needed to do was buy a very fast computer with a bunch of power and a bunch of speed and all the RAM jammed into it like an inspirational throat jamming, and then the sound plays good. The sound plays good. Oh, what else do I have that plays sound? I guess that's it for here. The intro played fine. Yeah, now I'm gonna have to make some more little theme songs and intros, because this computer can handle them. Can we talk about this sweater for a minute? Okay, let me get the countdown paper again. If anybody's new, avocado shake. If you haven't seen this part before, every once in a while, almost every time, try to. I get some paper. Throw the ream back into this thing. Take the drawing for a minute, move it out of the way. Don't want to splash a bunch of markers on it like a crazy person. Let's try to tilt this so it's the right angle to the camera. Yeah, there we go. That's great. Okay. You get your cerulean blue, your yellow ochre. Of course, we're going to need some burnt sienna, and we're going to do a nice little forest scene, Bob Ross style. No, it's not what we're doing. Oh my God! Don't believe those lies and/or hype. We're playing Countdown, but just the wordy bit, just like the title said. So I need a nice fat marker. That is a paint marker. Sharpie, you're always hiding. There we go. And I'm gonna give you guys 9 random letters from my random letter generator. Get out of here. From my random, there we go. And then after I come up with 9 letters, starting with M. So you're going to want to start as soon as you can to try and make the longest word with whatever S. And whoever has the longest word is the winner. Y. And I've also got a 30-second clock. I'll throw that up on the screen as soon as I get to 9. We need some good vowels. And come on, vowels. Vowel. Give me a vowel. Y doesn't count. Give me a vowel. A vowel. Oh, U. U is a value. A vowel. R. Wait, 3, 4, 6. Okay, we need some more vowels for sure. A. 3, 4, 6. Let's try for one more. Ooh, and an E. There we go. And then whatever's next is next. And C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9. Back to the Chatmotron. Put it back in the little holster. Just giving you guys lots of extra time. Anyway, longest word, one word is all you get. And nope. That's the intro button. There we go. Avocado Shake's coming in with a 6. Real quick, real hot. That's a contender. Also a short sentence. Ooh, Space Goody's got a 7. And Pat's got a 6. And if anybody else is floating around there, wants to chime in, go for it. I can see everything, I believe. Whether you're on Mixer, YouTube, or Twitch. But Pat's coming in with creams. Creams. Space Goonie's got surname. That's pretty big and fancy. I'm impressed. And Avocado Shake was coming in with creamy, using that Y. And her sentence was my nurse. My nurse is in there, so that's pretty great. But yeah, Space Goonie is once again champion of that household, at least. So the coveted sexy dinosaur mug goes back into her hands, or she can choose to hit Pat over the head with it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not here to tell you guys how to live your lives. But that's how we play. 8 out of 10 Cats does countdown. No such thing as grown-up style. Just the wordy bit with me and Milo. Get it? What about my word? What if I had a word? I have a 3. What if I have a 3? Is that any good? 3-letter word. Clock's still on. Yeah, no, 3-letter word is useless. It's wicked useless, and nobody cares. It was the thun. The thun? Thun was there. Thun, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not good at words. I really can't even read. Okay, I'm just gonna meander off into the distance, word-wise, saying nothing of any real importance, listening to the neighbors. He's kind of dumb. Oh yeah, smashed up kitchen. That's why you got to go to the Walmart to poop, and not your kitchen sink. It's always gonna ruin everything. Gets up into the walls, ceiling starts leaking. So much trouble. Just poop in toilets, people. Poop in toilets. It's the best advice I can give anybody in the world. Anyway, this has been Sexy Mario. This is No Such Thing as Grown-Ups. I'll make sure to harass Tara to record a new podcast so we can get that out there. I don't know, whatever things we have to talk about. And of course, tune in every Tuesday for this, and tune in randomly for Milo playing Nintendo. It will most likely be Saturday or Sunday mornings. I haven't quite decided yet. As far as like a scheduled thing, I'm gonna promise myself that I do, because that's just not how I play Nintendo. But yeah, those are all the stories I have to offer this week. This is all the sexy drawingness that I have. Just got a Nintendo head instead of a dinosaur head. And I don't know, next week we'll do somebody else. Maybe we'll do a sexy Peach. Maybe we'll stick with the guys and come up with somebody else. Can't think of anybody. But yeah, we'll have a suggestion off, I'm sure, and we'll have some fun. Anyway, good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, hanging out, watching, bathing, and behaving. Ripley. Hey, sweetest angel. You want to press the button to end this thing? Thank you. Okay, I don't think, it doesn't look like. Yeah. Something's going on. Alright, well, that's what happens with new computers. The other sounds played. Why would the other ones work? Not that one. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can see the sound playing.
5 stars. Tell your friends, and tell
check
your
the
hot mom.
properties.
There's
You
no
got
such
to
thing
get
as
to it
grownups.com.
Yeah, it's the same settings as that. Oh, I see. Now, if I press this button, fixed. Now it's really over, 'cause the music played, and it might even sync up now. Hey, good night. Don't forget there's t-shirts and books and stuff for sale at the stores. No such thing as grownups.com for all of your sexy dinosaur needs. Also, there's cats, poetry, books, and other stuff too. But it's over. Go to bed, Patty Prue.